Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me on another episode of Why I Love Flagler County, your local podcast spotlighting local businesses, local residents on why they love being in Flagler, operating in Flagler, and etc. So, thank you so much for my guest today, Cameron. Thank you so much for coming on today, Cameron. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Macy. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, so Cameron and I met a few weeks ago through the local BNI chapter here in Palm Coast. And last week we met and I got to know a lot about his business and his story. And I was like, I need to have you on here. I think this is an amazing thing that you're doing. This is awesome to share. So I'll let you kind of explain a little because I think you use better terms than I do. Um, but I'd love really quick for you to give kind of a brief overview. You're kind of originally from this area, not really from Palm Coast, but you left and then you came back. So I'd love for you to share just a quick little bit on how you came back to Palm Coast.
Yeah, so I'm originally from North Florida. I was born in Jacksonville, raised in a little town called Live Oak in northern Florida, and then moved around a bit, went to New York, moved to Denver. That's where I met my wife. And we lived there for a while, but I was having issues with the altitude. There's less oxygen up there, and a
Mhm.
lot of people have issues up there, so we needed to come back to lower altitude. And most of my family was living here in Palm Coast at the time, and my wife loves the beach, so it was the perfect place for us to come.
Yeah, that's awesome. Do you prefer the beach or the mountains?
Oh, definitely the beach. Yeah, I love the beach. We go to the beach like several times a week.
Yeah, that's awesome. Me too.
Yeah.
We were just there yesterday and the day before that, and
Oh
then the day
yeah.
before that. Yeah, it's just fun to be there and the
It's
vibes.
so relaxing. Just
Yes.
like the waves and the ocean.
Mhm.
Yeah, it relaxes you. It's nice.
Yeah. So you touched a little bit on the altitude, which was causing some issues. And then I
Mhm.
think there's a perfect segue kind of into your business. So you have, is it Refreshed Vitality?
Yep, that's
Yeah.
my company.
Yeah. So I'd love for you to share a little bit on what you do and then how you got into doing that.
So I was having other health issues before the altitude in Denver, serious health issues. I went to several doctors. I was having these issues for several months. I got all sorts of pills and tried everything. Nothing would work. And then my wife got desperate. She said, we need to try something. Found out someone who does what I do with my company, which is called EDS testing, electrodermal screening. So we went in there. The man tested me. He said I was allergic to milk, and I didn't believe him because I had milk my whole life. And he said, stop taking dairy and take these herbs. And literally within 2 days, all my health issues stopped. And I was like, what is this? So basically, how EDS testing works is it tests your body for what it needs. It'll analyze for viruses, bacteria, parasites, food allergies, any health issues that you're having, identify what's causing those issues, and then recommend different natural remedies like homeopathics, herbs, and vitamins and minerals to help heal the problem. So when we moved here, no one was doing this in the area, and my wife had started having some issues. So I was thinking maybe I should start the company and not only help my family, but help our community to get better as well.
Yeah, I think that's awesome to do this. I mean, like you said, like you didn't know you were allergic to dairy. You had been having dairy your whole life, and there wasn't like growing up, there wasn't some intrinsic like, dairy issue, but now this new thing had come up and now you are allergic to dairy. And I think that's really interesting that that machine was able to pick up on it and then you were able to correct based off what that told you. So I think that's awesome.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing too about health. Things are constantly coming up. We're constantly dealing with things, environmental toxins and stress in our life that make us have more health issues. So we're constantly having to adjust and balance things to make sure we're healthy.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're pretty new in your business is what I remember. So that's really cool. Is there anything that you've learned in opening your own business? Because you had shared with me before that you weren't in your own business before, so this is a completely new venture. Is there anything that you've learned that you didn't think you were going to have to learn, or you're like, oh wow, this is like a new thing. I didn't realize this was something I had to think about now.
Yeah, I mean, it's totally been a new thing. Everything with business has been new to me. I've never had my own business before, but I just wanted to help people get healthy, and that's still my passion. So I'm constantly learning how to grow a business, how to be efficient, how to meet people and network. Um, but the main underlying goal is the same, is to help people get healthy. So meeting new people has been really helpful. I'm part of BNI. It's a local group of businesses that promote each other's business, and kind of get to learn a lot from experienced business owners and entrepreneurs. So I've really appreciated that. That's been an invaluable tool.
Yeah, I think that's a really great way is finding those groups. And I think finding the right group for you in your local community is really important because I think there are a lot of groups, and sometimes people think if they go to one and it doesn't work immediately that like groups no longer work. I was like, no, maybe that just wasn't the one right for you, and that's completely okay. It works for some people, it doesn't work for everyone, and that's just how life is. Is there any other advice you might give to people who are either new in Palm Coast or want to get more active in the community, either in Palm Coast or other places, anywhere they live?
I would say, kind of like you said, there's a lot of groups in the area, Chamber of Commerce, BNI, if you're setting up a business, but there's also a bunch of events that are done locally in Flagler, which me and my family appreciate. At Central Park, they're always doing events down at Flagler Beach. Oh, this is just a personal thing, but we love seeing the surf competitions on Flagler
Oh,
Beach. Yeah, it's
wait, I
pretty
didn't know
cool.
of these.
Yeah, yeah. So we've just been a few times just going to the beach like normal, and they've done several surf competitions, and it's
Are
pretty
these on
cool to
like
see.
Saturdays?
Yeah, I think it was usually on the weekend when we went. And we'd go in the week and they'd be setting up, but we love
Right.
seeing the surf competitions. But it's a very nice, small beach community, which we love. Like everyone looks out for each other. It's not too big and chaotic, but it's growing. So we love this community and we're happy to be here.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'll have to look into that because like I don't surf at all. I don't really like swim at all either, but it's fun to watch people do
It
it,
is.
I think what was it over like New Year's or Christmas? I don't remember, but the waves were like crazy. And
Oh,
we
yeah.
saw so many people out there surfing. And I was like, this is awesome. It's cold. So shout out to them,
Yeah.
but they're doing some really cool stuff. It was really awesome to watch.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's awesome. So is there any last thing you'd kind of like to throw out there before we wrap it up? I mean, I feel like you shared a really great part of your story, and then how you help people, which I think is so different that people have never seen, but I'm always a huge advocate for the more natural ways, at least exploring those. It might not be what you need, but at least knowing that it's out there is a huge
Yeah.
plus.
Yeah, I would just recommend to everyone, anyone who's having health issues, or if you know someone who's having health issues, visit our website, www.refreshedvitality.com. There's a lot of resources on there, and if you have any questions, you can give us a call as well. We just want to help our community to be as healthy and happy as possible.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I'll make sure I leave that link in the description so people can click on that just a little bit easier. So Cameron, thank you so much for the time today. I appreciate it. This was a total blast for me. It was really great to connect with you again and listen to your story again. I really appreciate it. It's so inspiring.
Yeah, thank you so much, Macy. This was nice. I enjoyed it.
Oh, I'm glad. Well, thank you guys so much, and I'll see you next time.